The festive season holidays quite often marred by road accidents which claim the lives of many. Road crashes are the fifth leading cause of death globally. That's according to the United Nations study on road safety. Now, at the start of the holidays, let's check in live now with SABC News reporter Lutendo Pobodi, as well as video journalist Llewellyn Carstens in Limpopo in Toyando, I understand. They're at a roadblock there. Lutendo, good morning to you. Thanks. Is it afternoon? No, it's still morning. I thought it's afternoon already. Good morning to you. So tell us what's happening there. Are you seeing police visibility? I know that there are quite a number of roads in that particular area that are a cause for concern, in particular as we head towards the Christmas period.
Thank you so much, Criselda. Is it hectic or is it hectic? This is the biggest roadblock possibly that I've ever seen personally this year. And of course, as you said, there is massive visibility of police. When we were driving here, actually from Polokwane, that's about 170 kilos, we saw a whole lot of police, law enforcement along the road, especially the N1. You know, the N1 has been, of course, famed for devouring its people for years, hundreds and hundreds of people dying. But we see a lot of police officers that are stationed along the N1, like 10, 15 kilometers apart. But here, it's a massive roadblock. This is an extension of what happened in Gauteng when the Department of Transport launched the festive season campaign. This is just an extension, and it comes here in Limpopo, where a lot of people die. You remember Limpopo, the N1 in particular is the conveyor belt of people moving from other provinces to Limpopo, and also to neighboring countries at Zimbabwe and to Botswana and beyond, up to DRC. You know, they bring this campaign here just to try and give people information about what they're doing in terms of trying to keep the roads safe here. And Deputy Minister of Transport, Sinisio Chikunga, is here. She was here just in the thick of things, searching motorists and also stopping people, talking about how they should drive and try to be safe on the road. We have said it before that one of the prime causes of accidents here of reckless driving, drunken driving, and also speed. But for now, Criselda, she joins me to talk about this particular campaign. Deputy Minister, thank you so much for your time. Let's talk about this campaign. Talk to us about it. Give us the details.
On Wednesday, the 8th of this month, Minister Fikile Mbalula launched the 2022 Road Safety Festive Season campaign. And in that, he said the theme is, it starts with you. Because we believe that as motorists, as pedestrians, road users, we have a responsibility and a role to play towards ensuring that accidents are prevented. So yes, it begins with you, it begins with me, to ensure that we prevent this from happening. That's that. And we also have information at our disposal that accidents happen not on our potholed roads, but on our beautiful national roads. And factors that are contributing more are human factors. Driver who is drunk, driver who is speeding, a driver who is exhausted, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, it will be the vehicles themselves that are unroadworthy, can then have the tire burst and all that. It will also be the environment that will contribute. It could be that it's misty, it's raining, it's at night and all that. It could be the engineering factors that will talk to the roads, the sharp curves, of course the potholes as well. So it's all these factors that come to play. And that is why we are saying, if we were to have it right with the human factors, all this will not play an important and major role in the accidents happening. So we are here because we're expecting at this time that we're going to have high traffic volumes on our roads. And we are coming here with two approaches. One, to heighten our campaign and awareness campaign, to say, please remember, you're not the only one who is using the road. Remember, we should not die because it's festive season. Remember, you can't speed. You must wear your safety belts and so on and so forth. But also, another one, to say we have a right as government to enforce law. So that's another aspect, to enforce law. We've already impounded some cars, vehicles, since this morning that were not complying with the road rules and regulations and not abiding by that. We've issued some tickets, that's what they call, or notices to would-be traffic offense drivers who are committing traffic offences. We've issued those. So it's an operation that says we want to be safe during this time around, and we want you to be safe, but it begins with you. It starts with you.
All right. I know, just as a human being, you cannot predict the future, but we as SABC crews, we are on the road all the time, and we see reckless driving has already started, and you've been trying to drum up this message of safety like every year. How do we internalize this? Do you hope that roadblocks like this will work?
I think they do. The only thing we will never know is how many accidents would have prevented through this, because they will not happen. That's one thing. So we would definitely not want to count accidents. We'd want a situation where we say there was no accident after that roadblock, and we don't know how many should have happened. So that is that we believe they do play an important role. The visibility of our traffic officers on the road and our South African Police Service members is also, it plays an important role in ensuring that the driver, when they see them, then something says, am I driving at a correct speed? Is my car, can I be stopped? And so on and so forth. So all those things, they play an important role. So if we were not to be on the road, probably a lot would have happened and many accidents would have occurred. But of course, one other focus area that we think we should highlight this time around is the accidents that are affecting our pedestrians. The statistics are telling us that the people that are dying more on our roads, even in the province right now, from the first, are pedestrians in residential areas, because all of us are going to our homes now. So if there were two, I'm making an example, 2 cars during the time when we are all at work, now you're going to have up to about 20 cars, and people will not be aware that they've got to put more precautions to actually prevent accidents. So we are also making our people in residential areas aware of the fact that there are more cars in residential areas now than any other time, and those people might even be driving under the influence of alcohol. So we're saying to people, don't drink and drive, but we're saying to our pedestrians, at least take any driver as being drunk, and so that you are able to take measures. You are better off thinking that a person is drunk than thinking that the person is sober when in actual fact he's drunk and he doesn't even see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Griselda. As I said, the recklessness, the arrogance on the roads have already started, and just makes me nervous seeing a lot of accidents all the time, especially around this time. And to pedestrians, she's saying, take any driver as drunk.
Well, Lutendo, I'm not sure if Llewellyn is able to show us the roadblock, and maybe if you're able to get in a word or two from some of the motorists as well. Do they feel any safer seeing this massive roadblock there? Do they think this is obviously something that does not need to happen over, just a weekend? It needs to be consistent so that those who are not law-abiding, would be pushed into law-abiding citizens on the road so that everyone is able to get home safe. Any chance that we can do that?
Yeah, right now, as it seems like now that roadblock, the police officials now are disbanding. They've been here from around 7 o'clock. But I can tell you, Griselda, we spoke with some of the motorists, as you will see later in our visuals, and some of them are saying, look, it's safe, although now they're now seeing gridlocks now, especially at toll plazas. They're now seeing traffic, begging stacking up like for kilos, 2 or so kilos. At that time of the year, especially moving towards next week, where there will be a holiday, 16th of December, we will start seeing this. And of course, as SABC, we start going to the roads and give you these traffic reports. But I can tell you that most of them are saying the road is relatively smooth, but they are starting to see, of course, these gridlocks. And also police officials, as I said, they are stationed all over the N1 in particular, and they are also checking people and also making some arrests.
Brigendo, thank you very much indeed. We appreciate your coverage this morning. Thanks indeed for your time with Llewellyn Carstens behind the camera there, keeping tabs on that story for us. A number of roadblocks, I guess you'll see around the country, seen quite a lot here in Johannesburg. Law enforcement are trying to ensure that we're safe on the country's roads through this festive season.